She's quiet now, right? No texts, no calls, no updates. It's like she disappeared without a trace. And there you are, checking your phone, replaying every moment, wondering what shifted, what broke, and why she suddenly stopped caring. But here's the truth most men miss. Her silence isn't the end of your story. It's the start of your awakening. Because the moment you stop caring, everything changes. When you stop caring about what she's doing, where she's going, or who she's with, you break the invisible chain she had wrapped around your emotions. That's when the power flips. Her silence might have been her move, but your indifference? That's checkmate. Let's break down what really happens when you stop caring. First, her silence stops being power and starts becoming pressure. At first, that silence feels like control. It makes you question yourself. It makes you chase, explain, even apologize for things you never did. But once you stop reacting, once you stop feeding that silence with emotion, it backfires. Because silence only works when you still care. When you detach, the game collapses. Suddenly, she's not in control anymore. She's curious. She starts wondering why you're not responding, why the attention that used to flow so easily is now gone. And that curiosity? It eats at her. Because women can ignore the man who chases, but they can't forget the man who doesn't care. Second, she starts missing the validation she thought she didn't need. When she went silent, she expected you to fill the void, to text, to reach out, to beg for clarity. But when you don't, when your side of the silence stays empty, something shifts. She starts realizing how much your energy meant, how your attention grounded her. At first, she told herself she needed space. Now she feels distance. And there's a big difference. Space gives freedom. Distance gives anxiety. And when that anxiety hits, she starts craving the calm she used to find in you. Third, you begin to regain your emotional control. The moment you stop caring, something powerful happens inside you. You start seeing how much energy you were giving away. You realize your peace was never supposed to depend on her response. And when you truly detach, the emotional roller coaster stops. You stop chasing validation and start building discipline. You think clearer, sleep deeper, move differently. And here's the irony. When your focus shifts back to you, she can feel it. Not through your words, but through your energy. The calm within you echoes louder than any message you could send. Fourth, she becomes uncomfortable with your emotional independence. Women admire strength until they can't control it. When you stop caring, she feels that wall. She'll test it. Maybe a text, a post, a subtle hint, just to see if she can still reach you. But when you stay grounded, when you don't react, she's forced to face what she wasn't ready for, losing influence. Because now, you're no longer the man who bends whenever she pulls away. You've become the man who doesn't chase, doesn't explain, doesn't seek approval. And that's the man every woman respects and quietly fears losing. Fifth, she starts questioning her own silence. At some point, the quiet starts echoing, not in your head, but in hers. Because silence is a mirror. When you stop caring, you stop feeding that mirror. You stop giving her anything to reflect on. And when the reflection fades, she's left with herself, her choices, her pride, her assumptions. That's when regret begins. Not because she lost you instantly, but because she realizes you stopped waiting. You stopped hoping. You stopped checking. And she can't undo that shift. Sixth, you realize she was never the source of your peace. You were. You thought her presence made you whole. But when you stop caring, you see it clearly. Your peace was never hers to give. It was always yours to protect. You start to understand how powerful you really are when your emotions aren't tied to her actions. That's emotional sovereignty. That's real strength. Because strength isn't in getting her back. It's in not needing her back at all. Seventh, she starts remembering you differently. She told herself moving on would be easy. But time passes. She meets others. None of them bring the same depth, the same calm, the same energy you had. And that's when her silence turns into reflection. Because now, she's the one wondering, how did he just stop caring like that? What she doesn't know is, it wasn't easy. You just finally realized your worth isn't something to prove. It's something to protect. Eighth, your silence becomes your presence. This is the final stage, where detachment turns into peace. You're not silent because you're hurt anymore. You're silent because you're free. Every time you don't react, you grow stronger. Every day you don't check her stories, you remind yourself, love isn't about chasing chaos. And when she feels that quiet, confident energy from a man who's truly done caring, she realizes the truth. She lost access to a man who was once fully hers. And now, the silence she used to control, it controls her. So if she's silent now, let her be. Don't chase noise, build peace. Because your worth doesn't fade when someone stops talking to you. It expands when you stop needing to be heard. The truth is, brother, the moment you stop caring, you win. Because silence only hurts the man waiting for a response. But for the man who's found his peace, silence becomes his strength. So stop chasing what's gone. Stop worrying about what she's thinking. Because when you stop caring, you don't lose her. You find yourself.